right? Now look at these. Y'all, I'm telling you, I gotta show y'all. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Just look for yourself. And this is the creme de la creme. All praises be to the Most High, y'all. Everything we've been through, y'all, the Most High is going to retribute it on all the nations that have had a hand in the oppression of his apple, the apple of his eye, his chosen people, his beloved, his fervent lover, his only begotten. They're going to have their part in the lake of fire. You see them tormented by some kind of creature. I don't even know what that even is, y'all. Judgment in chains. He that led into captivity shall go into captivity. All praise to the Most High, Yah.
Brothers and sisters, they are there. We are not lost. We are scattered. We are original Hebrew.
Let's go! All praises be to the Most High, Yah. Yeah, I say it.
He has not forgot about that lineage. Scattered, dispersed, called Negro, called nigger, called bywords and proverbs, sent to the four corners of the earth, mixed in, Hellenized, sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits, pork chops, running in Coliseum games, shooting each other on the street, gang violence, bloods, crips, homicide rate, poor health, leading in cardiovascular disease. Yah said, I ain't forgot about my people. The nations may forget, but I ain't gonna forget. I ain't gonna forget about the transatlantic. I ain't gonna forget about Alligator Bay. I ain't gonna forget about Willie Lynch and lynched Negroes and pickaninnies. I ain't gonna forget. And that's the power of a living God that took a book that was always ours and made the enemy think, oh, this is for everybody. Just so he could get that book to the four corners of the earth, so that when he woke up the remnant of his people that was scattered because of their disobedience, he could wake them up with a snap of his face. That's the love we're going to talk about in this video.
What's up, BZ Dynasty? What's up, Zion Dynasty family? This is your boy, the man, the myth, and the legend, Yoruba Benai Ephraim of the tribe of Joseph. Shalom to all my Israelite brothers and sisters. Peace, love, blessings, and black power to the chosen race. Also, peace, love, and blessings to all my Gentile brothers and sisters. Those that ain't lost in the sauce. Those that's rocking with Zion. Those that support the Lion of Zion, the chosen people of the Most High God. I love y'all. Y'all just don't know how I'm on 10 right now. At the time of me shooting this, Okay, at 12 o'clock this morning, 12 a.m., I was watching that jump. I had 997, 998, 1,000 subscribers. All praises, blessings, honor, glory, dominion to the mighty one of Yaakov, the holy one of Yasharal, the defender of the Lion of Zion, the awakener of the dry bones of Ezekiel. Y'all better talk to me, all praises. So I saw the countdown. I saw it hit 1,000. And then by the time I'm shooting this video, bro, it was 1,200. And I think it's 1,400. Let's go! I thank y'all for supporting this work. And I'm gonna tell y'all, my foundation, the blowout video, the video that went crazy about white people secretly worshiping a black God, they know who the Most High is. Y'all, we have built this channel, and a shout out to Child of God, T. Turner, Blackberry Rose, Helen, Rose God, all these folks that been with the Garth, my brother Garth, my Yoruba brothers, my Igbo brothers. We have made truth the priority on this channel. Y'all know I ain't did no shiesty whoop the whoop. Them images that y'all love is truth. I didn't know it was gonna be received that well, y'all. I thought YouTube was gonna pull it down. And y'all, we are getting ready to do our Esau series where we go into who is Esau. And when I tell y'all the hell that these Ashkenazis can try to put you through when you try to post this information, y'all. My Black Wall Street documentary, well, I got it off the History Channel. They give me hell for that. The Limba Jews, they gave me hell for that. But I said I'm still going to post it. And I'm going to pray to the Most High that he let the information get out. Y'all, they making it hell for this stuff. And the more the channel grows, the more they're trying to censor some of this information. Y'all get these books. I'm dropping the links in the comments. They're snatching them up as fast as I'm talking about it, and I'm trying to find them, but they're getting rid of the Russian Icons book. I've searched and searched, but it ain't even on Amazon. And I'm like, at one point it was $3,000, right? And now it's just off. So y'all got to get these books. Get the Jewish Encyclopedia. Get all the Harvard sources by Tudor Parfit. Tudor Parfit has a lot of scholarship. Oxford, Harvard. He has Cambridge, African Zion. Edith Bruder. the black Jews of Africa. Y'all get this scholarship. They ain't playing no games, y'all, but we believe the Most High. This channel is founded on truth. This channel is to reawaken the 12 tribes of Israel. This channel is to speak. We need to turn back to the heritage. We need to turn back to the law, statutes, and commandments. And y'all know, this channel has not whoop the whoop or changed or tried to play politics. We about truth on this channel, y'all, and we keeping it 1,000. So in today's video, y'all, it's so much I want to say. Thank y'all for the 1,000 subscribers. It's already 1,400 by the time I'm doing the video. The growth is ridiculous. I don't even know if this is common, y'all, and it's almost intimidating. I'm like, man, what is going on? But I give all praises, honor, glory to the mighty one of Yaakov. He is reawakening the lion, the slumbering lion of Zion, that is Judah, and all 12 tribes that have been scattered to the four corners of the earth. I repeat, there are tribes. You got Levi, you got Ephraim, you got Manasseh, you got so many just in Africa alone, y'all. Y'all check out my DNA video, right? Y'all check that out, where Harvard found Negro E1B1A DNA in the land of Israel. This is a Harvard study going back to 2011. I think they did a follow-up in 2012. Y'all check out the Vornay video. That book, I can't find it anywhere. Y'all check out that White Secrets video. Y'all check out the history of the Moors, that we are the Moorish Israelites. We were banished from Spain. Y'all check out all that history. It's so much knowledge that we're dropping. And I want y'all to go back through the Kingdom series, where we were talking about Jew and Gentile, and we were talking about Northern Kingdom, how they got Hellenized. Our forefathers were made to forsake all of their heritage, right? You couldn't call yourself a Jew. You couldn't eat pork. So this is going to lead into what we're going to talk about today. We're going to deal with the whole skin doctrine concept, the misconception, right? A lot of you guys that are in the truth, that know we're Israel, that have done all this groundwork, done your DNA, you know about the curses of Deuteronomy 28. You also are aware, right, that there is an agenda. I believe there are some paid out Negroes, there are some paid out Edomites, and they hide themselves under the title of urban apologist. You might have heard about Vocab Malone, Garfield, a lot of these brothers. And I respect people like Elder Mike, because Elder Mike seems like he's more genuine. He's just trying to figure out truth and really try to understand what Israelites are saying. But the history is undeniable, y'all. We then went through the oral tradition of the Yoruba. It's supported by Cambridge, the Jewish Encyclopedia, Harvard, Oxford. I've done my DNA with 23andMe, GEDmatch, African Ancestry. The list goes on, y'all. Old bones, archaeological findings in Israel that are E1B1A. There's too much evidence. There is more evidence to prove that we're the people than any other people. So in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about skin doctrine. These urban apologists keep saying that we're pushing, well, y'all Israelites are pushing a race-based, you're a hate group. SBLC says you're a hate group, you're a hate group. And at best they'll say, you're a cult, you're a cult. How is an ethnicity a cult? An ethnicity is a cult? Please explain it to me. How is me knowing what tribe I come from, how is that a cult, a group? It's my blood, it's my lineage, right? It ain't no group I'm a part of. There is a difference between practicing the law, statutes, and commandments and being an Israelite. There's Israelites that are atheists. There's Israelites that are practicing Muslims, are Islamic, right? So this is not a cult. This is not a hate group. If you feel some type of way, and any Gentiles that's on here trolling, burn the barn down. I want all the smoke. Come on up here. Come on, make your little sly comments. And some of them laughing, like, you know, white folks love to laugh. Like, they'll tell you, you're a Gentile. Ha 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 ha. Like, you're supposed to psych me out or bug my mind out. I know my ethnicity. I can prove my ethnicity, and y'all come with it. Then any of them Ashkenazis in that land, they can't prove any ties to any tribe or son of Jacob. They can't do it. That's why they say, well, Jew is a religion. It's not really an ethnicity. Well, the way Hebrew Israelites, the way we talking about it, we talking about a blood lineage, right? We talking about going back to Jacob, Yaakov. We talking about Yasharal. We talking about Benjamin, Manasseh, Ephraim, Naphtali, Zebulun. Y'all come with it. Judah, Levi. We talking about proving that thing, right? And I can do that better than any Ashkenazi, so y'all come with that smoke, right? We are not a cult. We are not preaching hate. We're preaching love for our people. In any nation they got a problem with that, You're the problem. Because our people have been oppressed for so long, they've hidden so much history, so much archaeology, but we're the bad guys because we want y'all to tell the truth. Well, you know, Christ's color don't matter. You know, his spirit is what matters. Well, if it don't matter, why every year y'all got a new white Jesus movie that come out? Why Netflix ain't done no black Jesus? And I ain't talking about that sitcom that was meant to be a comedy, right? You know what I'm saying? Tell the truth. If you don't have a problem with truth, you shouldn't have a problem with saying it, right? So this is my problem with a lot of these, even the Christians, right? They say they love God, but they hate his people. If God grafted you in by faith, you have a beef against the natural branches. And this is, I gotta go through this stuff. I got to. And then another misconception that I see. Well, your race shouldn't matter. You know, that stuff is done away with in Christ. You know, neither Jew nor Gentile and whosoever will. First, let's deal with one step at a time. Let's deal with race and culture does not matter. There are Asian Christians. There are white people that keep their customs. What about the Jews for Jesus? They know that they're Jews. They know that they're Israel. Most of them ain't. But y'all don't have no problem with them knowing that they're Israel and keeping their culture in the faith of Christ. But you got a problem with Israelites. That's the shiesty business. That's y'all with the sauce. Y'all lost in the sauce, right? And not just that, y'all, but black people, Negroes, Israelites, we should not have to feel some type of way about standing up for our people. The purest form of worshiping the Creator is to give back to the thing that gave you life. That broad nose, that bronze skin, that woolly beard, that woolly hair. Be proud of that thing. We shouldn't have to apologize for our culture and everybody else got one, but they tell you yours don't matter, so you don't research the fact that you are the true gods of this earth. Man, get out of here with that foolishness, right? And a lot of these folks, like I said, y'all, they are bought and paid for. The Christian leadership, these pastors don't want to talk about it because they 503c. And I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. This channel is based on truth. We have to hold our leaders accountable. If you make your living off black people, you need to spend your whole life not just trying to treat the symptom, right? But treat the root illness. So now let's deal with, are Israelites pushing a different gospel? Is this some kind of skin doctrine? If I'm looking for McDonald's, there are some signs that I need to look for, right? I need to look for the golden arches and the red. I need to look for the gold and the red, right? Now, some people say, well, why does Christ's color matter? Granted, if I tell somebody to just look for the gold and the red to be able to find McDonald's, they might end up at the Shell gas station. So it's not just knowing his color, but his color is indicative of his ethnicity and of his culture, right? And Christians that say they love God, but have a problem with how he chose to send his son, that makes a red flag go off in my head, right? Because the Most High chose to send Christ in a certain vessel through a certain lineage for a certain people. And if you love him, that's like going on a date with one woman, but saying you love a whole nother woman. If you love Yeshua, you should love the exact way that the Father chose to send him. You shouldn't be with the business of hiding history, because there's a reason why the Father believed melanin needed to be on his son, that he needed to be an Israelite, that he needed to be from Judah. There is a reason, right? So now we're going to deal with the gospel aspect. The gospel historically was for Israel. Israel is not done away with. Jeremiah 31:31 says, as long as you see the sun shining, as long as you see the moon and the stars, as long as the waves and these ordinances exist, Israel will exist as a nation. All praises be to the Most High God. So when Christ came on the scene, his mission was for Israel. Let's go through these precepts. In Matthew chapter 1, verse 21, the Bible says, and you shall call his name Yahusha, for he shall save his people. His people is Israel. He shall save his people from their sins. Not just that, but let's look at Matthew chapter 2, verse 6. That out of Bethlehem, Judah, shall come he that is the governor of God's people, right? Let's keep on going. Matthew chapter 15:24. Christ himself said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Let's keep going with these precepts. Luke chapter 1, verse 68 through 72. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for visiting and redeeming his people, that we might be delivered from our enemies to serve our God without fear. All praises to the Most High. I know a lot of y'all are saying, okay, we get it, JB. We know that Christ, when he came on the scene, he came for Israel, but the heart of the Father was all men to be saved, whosoever will. Let's deal with John 3:16. Let's go ahead and deal with the infamous John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Let's piggyback Isaiah 45:17. For Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation, world without end. If I'm talking about the NBA world, I ain't talking about Michael Vick. If I'm talking about SeaWorld, I ain't talking about Simba or Mufasa. You have to know the who, what, when, where, and why, and the cultural context of who Christ was going to. Right? So now if I tell this classroom of third graders, I say whoever finishes their test first, on Friday they get a pizza party. Or I ain't gonna say whoever's first. Whoever finishes their test today, on Friday they get to have a pizza party. Am I talking to the third grade class in another school or down the hallway? I am talking to who I am talking to. Christ was sent to the Judean people that the scriptures calls them a world. Why does the Bible call Israel a world? Our people represent a kingdom, an everlasting people, a holy lineage that will exist without end. We are meant to be the gods of this earth, to be a kingdom of priests, to show the example of the nature of the Creator to all different nations. So the nations be like, man, that people got a wise God. They got an understanding God. We want to be a part of Israel. That's what Israel is meant to be, a whole world within themselves, right? The Bible, the Most High told Abraham that through your seed, all the nations will be blessed. Our people are the hierarchy of heaven, and this is the world that Christ was sent to. How do I know that? Let's look at John chapter 17, verse 9. Let's see what the Bible has to say, shall we? So in John 17, verse 9, Yeshua himself said, I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but those that you have given me, for they belong to you. Who is the Most High's people? Who is his firstborn? Who's his elect? Who's the apple of his eye? That is his bride. That's his people. Like the ephod with the 12 stones. Israel is always on the heart of the Most High, and that's the people that Christ was sent to secure the bag for. Christ was sent for Israel, and that's the world that Christ was talking about. That's the world that John 3:16 is talking about. Yeah, I know a lot of y'all gotta hang up Christianity. Let's let the word talk. I don't want y'all to hear my voice. John chapter 18, let's deal with it. In John chapter 18, verse 20, Yeshua says, I spake openly to the world. I always taught in the synagogue and in the temple, where the Jews would always resort, and in secret have I said nothing. If y'all Webster's Dictionary world, there are multiple different definitions. This is why our people have to have a scholarly mind. You have to know the who, what, when, where, and why. Christ, when he said world, he was talking about Israel. Not just that. The scriptures prophesied in Deuteronomy 28 that our people will be scattered throughout the earth. So Israel was a literal world of people that inhabited everywhere through captivity, y'all. So I know I didn't give y'all a lot of precepts. I'm not gonna go too deep. We got a lot of videos to go into these things. But I do want you guys to know that Christ's mission is for Israel. So this work of us raising up the 12 tribes is a holy work. This history that we go into, the DNA, all of this stuff is to raise up God's people that Satan meant to destroy. In Psalms 83, the nations came together and said, we got to destroy these people. We got to wipe them out of remembrance, right? We got to get rid of Zion. We got to get rid of their descendants. And if the enemy could have had his way, y'all, he would have destroyed us. But the Most High said, nah, I ain't going to forget. I ain't going to forget my loving kindness. I ain't going to forget the promise that I made to Abraham. I ain't gonna forget how hard I worked to deliver this people. I ain't forget about how I parted the Red Sea for my people, right? So Christ's mission was the faithfulness of a living God to a people. And it didn't stop with Christ. The apostles. Let's look at Peter and 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 1. Let's get it. Peter said to the strangers that are scattered abroad. Not just the apostle Peter, the chief apostle, but James, the very brother of Yeshua. In James chapter 1 verse 1, he said, I am sending this letter, I am sending this greeting to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. All praises be to the Most High Yah. And this is where the biggest misconception comes in. Well, JB, we know all that, but what about the Gentiles? What about the Gentiles? First of all, the Gentiles that Paul was sent to, we're going to deal with it, are actually Israelites. Now, in the same book of Galatians, this is where the whole contention of neither Jew nor Gentile arises. Let's go to Galatians chapter 4, beginning at verse 5, and it reads, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. Wait a second, y'all. Let's go back to Romans chapter 9 verse 3, because this piggybacks it. In Romans, recall that in chapter 9 verse 3 it reads, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my people, my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites. To them pertains the adoption. Whoa, wait a second now. To them pertains the adoption. Wait. Now let's go back to Galatians chapter 4 verse 5. To redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive adoption of sons. Wait a second. If the adoption pertains to Israel, right? And it says to redeem them that were under the law. This is in the book of Galatians. Paul is talking to Israelites. Now, when I say this stuff, y'all, if you're a Gentile, if you're a European brother or Asian brother, something like that, am I saying you can't be a part of the kingdom? That's not scripture. But what I am saying is that Israel is the Amazon warehouse whereby the gift of God gets to all nations. So God has a system, the Most High has a system of order, of government, right? He has a CEO that he's dealing with. The low man on the totem pole can't go talk to the CEO. He has a supervisor, who has a manager, who has a director, who is with a bunch of directors that answer to the CEO. This is how the Most High deals. He didn't give the law to Israel per se. He gave it to Moses. So Israel is the people that receive the oracle of God, and we dispense it by the way we keep our heritage to all other people. So when I say Christ didn't come for no other nations, that's true. But through Israel, the nations can be grafted in. Those that humble themselves and cleave to us being the chosen people. And a lot of white people, y'all understand, have messed up hearts. And the Most High is going to expose, do you really love God? If you got the brown skin, if you got the big nose, if you have to kiss the corns of a black man, of a nigger, the same folks that you oppressed, the same people that your ancestors had in slavery. Can you humble yourself to this people? And that's the test. Our people got to be tested too. We went through the curses of Deuteronomy 28, and the Most High said that we got to humble ourselves and turn back to our heritage. So ain't nobody gonna get by. But the gospel, the message, salvation, the leadership, the gift of the service of God, the covenants, all this pertains to Israel. Let's look at Romans chapter 9 verse 3, shall we? Paul said, who are Israelites. To Israel pertains the adoption, the covenants, the service of God, the giving of the law. We are the Amazon warehouse by which all distribution of holiness and righteousness is distributed to the people of the earth. All praises be to the Most High God. So you have to understand, when Paul came on the scene, and I done already told y'all, I got Harvard books, I got Harvard literature that proves to y'all Israel Redivivus. I got the Harvard Step in the book that shows you that the biblical scholars know that the Gentiles that Paul was sent to, these were Israelites, right? How do we know this? The who, what, when, where, and why. Paul was a Roman-born citizen. Paul himself, check this out, was a Gentile. He's just like me being an African American, but my ethnicity is an Israelite. Paul himself, understand, was a Gentile. So he interacted. You got to imagine him living in Rome and dealing with Israelites that's worshiping Zeus and Jupiter and Saturn and Hercules and Nefertiti and all kinds of crazy madness. You got to imagine that. So Paul had a heart dealing with his people, knowing that his people were lost sheep. So he had a beef between Peter, because Peter was on his high horse, having lived in the land of Israel, having grown up keeping the statutes and the commandments, and he looked down on Hellenized Israelites. Our people have been Hellenized back to the Maccabees. And I'm going to do a follow-up series going through that history. But Peter had this contention with Paul, because Paul was saying, wait, let's spoon feed them. Let's catch the fish before we scale and skin them. Let's teach them their history. Because in the synagogues, every Sabbath, they're going to learn the laws and the statutes. But don't deny them salvation, because Christ died while we were yet sinners. And this is the family of the Bible. This is the culture of the scriptures. This is Israel's family dysfunction that was going on in biblical times. So the Bible is an African Judean cultural text belonging to the E1B1A descendants of Zion, the children of Israel. So with that, y'all, we ain't talking about no skin doctrine. We're talking about a lineage. It's not melanation, but a chosen nation. We're not talking about a cult. An ethnicity can't be a cult. If y'all love Christ, you love his people. If you say you love the Most High, you don't have no problem with his firstborn. So this work is a holy work to raise up Zion. So y'all don't let none of these urban apologists try to take your birthright away from you. If this stuff didn't matter, why they hid our history for so long? Why they whitewashed Jesus, right? Tell the truth. If you say you're a follower of the truth, the way, the truth, and the life, even Yeshua. So with that, y'all, peace, love, blessings, and black power to the chosen race of the Most High Yah, Yoruba, and Ephraim of the tribe of Joseph. And with that, Shabbat Shalom. I love you all. Thank you for this continual support. Thank you for this work. I'm going to do shout outs and a lot of different things, you guys. I'm going to link all these books and everything. I can't thank you guys enough. I'm going to do some live streams coming up, but I'm still trying to figure out how to do a lot of this stuff. But if you guys have any comments, concerns, anything that you want me to talk about, any series ideas, y'all just drop them down below. I love you guys so much, and I'm humbled that the Most High is using just little old me to do this work, y'all. And I thank y'all so much, and y'all enjoy your Sabbath. Peace, love, and blessings. Shalom. All praises.